So here's a little bit of theory for the month of June for this class. The inspiration for this class was the epic wave of tooth grinding that we went through in the fall, and the realization for a lot of us that there was a lot of jaw tension increasing in the student body. So now we're really going into the work of opening up the inner body in a way that helps the jaw tension release, now that there's a lot of awareness of the head as a body part. So you've probably heard me say before that the primary series really reorganizes the space of the pelvis. In Krishnamacharya's theory, there's a point at the very center of the pelvis. And for me, when I'm teaching primary, I'm really orienting my work with you around that floating point right in the interior of the pelvis. Because a lot of the asanas, they're doing work to the inner physical body. So there are many layers of a human, but really when we work with the physical body, the asanas are more interesting for what they do with the physicality of your interior, from my perspective. The intermediate series is, I think, working with a point right in the center of the chest, called the hridaya. Again, it's a floating point right in the center of the chest. But a lot of you, I see you really reorganizing the inner body there much earlier than learning the intermediate series asanas. So there's almost like an intermediate series vibe for the inner body that you can start to address on a physiological level with your awareness, regardless of what physical asana series you're doing. So one thing I learned from my own journey, since I have a lot of healing to do in the jaw and in the head, is the way that the advanced series addresses the inner body in the top of the throat and in the center of the head. And I've really gotten to test that theory because for years I've practiced cranial sacral therapy on the other most advanced asana practitioners in the world when I'm in Mysore. So I'm typically there for a couple months a year and will do my cranial sacral practice on my colleagues and friends while I'm there. And indeed, the inner body, for most of them, is being restructured here in the inside of the head and the throat. So with that in mind, with the idea of the most sort of advanced physical work that the Ashtanga program offers, being awareness and even reconditioning of the inside of the head and the inside of the mouth, we're gonna go this month into the mysterious interior. We're going in. So to begin, I want to concentrate the meditation on two new points in the mysterious interior. I told you primary series treats a point in the center of the pelvis. Intermediate treats a point in the center of the chest. So now we're gonna look at the space between 2 points. Roll your tongue back or use your finger and find the junction of the hard and soft palate at the top of the mouth. It's the top and the back of the mouth. All right. And now we'll close the eyes and just meditate on that point. There's nothing to do here. There's no goal. Just the awareness of the talu mula. It's called the talu mula as a body part. So you might not have had a talu mula before today, But that physical touch and the concentration of awareness here is to name and integrate this body part into your awareness. Please don't try to make anything happen. And we're going to move on. There's a second point. You might not use your finger for this one because we're going for the base of the uvula. So you might go later with a little mirror to check out your uvula. If you've had your tonsils removed, you're probably extra aware. But right there, that actually strange and mysterious dangling piece at the back of your throat. We're going to pool the awareness there. And it has the best name. It's called the lalata. The base of your uvula is a body part. And it vibrates a bit when you say lalata. So now we'll just sit and incorporate the awareness of having this other body part, the lalata. So what happens? And what I've learned from you is possible in this domain is that this space above and between the lalata and the talamula becomes very sensitive and aware, and it releases upward. There's a doming motion and a relaxation in that space as it releases upward. It becomes more spacious. There's just a lot of empty space in your head. A lot of empty space. For now, this cave in the mysterious interior, we're gonna let the wind of the breath swirl around that cave. So start to do your breathing. And notice how the breathing with sound technique might give auditory and sensory touch-based stimulation to the soft palate here at the back of the throat. If the air in your room is a tiny bit cool, that'll give you a little more sensation. So here we are in the mysterious interior. Nothing to do. Just build a sense of the empty space.